Shalom. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem Kakodash, and the honors to the apostles and others, great Muslims, salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother I'm Allah from Gemma, Chicago, and let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and go into this quick lesson about this national blueprint for biodefense, right? And it's a PDF, so you got to download it if you want to look through it. But nonetheless, right? Just something to keep an eye out, all right? Because before COVID ever started, all right, I guess it was I forgot what organization did it, but they were basically going into how, all right, scenario where a virus gets where a virus becomes contagious, all right, and all of a sudden, all right, then the entire globe goes under. The entire globe goes into a pandemic, all right, and that's what it's starting to look like with, you know, this next virus that's about to happen, right? And right here, they're using predictive programming, all right? So here in the National Blueprint for Biodefense, it says immediate action needed to defend against biological threats, all right? And then you go down to the Article 9, it says scenario, and it goes ahead and it explains to you it tells you this scenario where the United States is attacked by a terror, it's like by a T attack, all right, with the use of a biological threat. I'm gonna go ahead and read through it. It says what? The following hypothetical opening remarks by the chair of the Congressional Joint Inquiry provide context for this report by portraying a biological attack sufficient to cause the catastrophic consequences warned by the Bipartisan Commission on Biodefense. The scenario describes how a biological agent could target humans and animals and how it can emerge some of the key intelligence capabilities required to address the agent and its impacts on the consequence of failure. Joint inquiry into administration and congressional action before and during the bioterror. I'm not going to read that aloud, but it says bioterror attacks of July 4, 2025. The U.S. House of Representatives Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence and the U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. But let's go ahead and go into the main part. All right, because in this scenario, all right, they're talking about Nipah virus, but it says, I called this first hearing the joint inquiry to order 9 weeks ago. Some nation or terrorist group, we still don't know who, attacked the nation's capital and other U.S. cities with biological weapons as we celebrate Independence Day. The infection agent as they used killed at least 280,000 Americans and infected at least 400,000 throughout the country in a single day, in addition to the 200,000 and dead and 800,000 sickened animals. These numbers will increase as the disease spreads. Many of our own colleagues and staff here in Congress fell ill and died in coordinated attacks in allied nations in the days that followed, killed tens of thousands more. We are now hearing the terrorists conducted small-scale attacks in American cities and localities prior to July 4 incidents to test our defenses and gauge our responses. These smaller-scale attacks went largely unnoticed. Laboratory tests confirmed that Nipah virus caused the disease, but we still don't know what methods our adversaries used to infect humans and spread the disease among livestock in rural communities. And noticing, they said that this is a BioT attack, all right, and noticing the timing of how things are going, all right. Not too long ago, all right, the FBI, they weren't about well, the officials, they weren't about, potential, upcoming T attacks here in the United States. All right. And then, these elites, all right, they definitely got something brewing. All right, then now they have, other nations to blame. All right, for this, upcoming false flag, T attack that will cause real deaths, right, real casualties, and it's really gonna, cause an intense amount of havoc. And of course, nothing really happened on the 4th of July, but you remember that they were warning about a possible T attack on the 4th of July, all right? Getting these people, in the mindset of, nothing's gonna happen. There is not gonna be no T attack. But, meanwhile, all right, the elites have something else up their sleeves, all right, for the upcoming false flag T attack. All right, so when it does happen, these people will end up believing that it was a foreign nation that caused it, when really it's just a plan to, to create chaos, to create order out of chaos. All right. Well, you can look through the article, not to go far into it, but noticing the timing, how the fact that this was released since April 2024, and all of a sudden, a year later, or you have the Nipah virus already becoming a major problem over there, in Asia right now. All right, now it's starting to spread. All right, something to look out for. But here's Sirach chapter 5, verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. Yeah, that's right. All right, that Nipah virus, of course, it's not really on the mainstream media. But yet again, the scriptures tell you, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. All right, so yeah, of course, this Nipah virus, you go into Google search, you search about it. It may not seem like a major problem just yet, but it will eventually. All right, who knows? Just gotta wait and see. All right. Says 1 Peter 4 and 7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And that's right. Uh, we gotta be sober. Spiritually. Mentally sober. In these last days, because you never know when the next when the next day could be the last of this so-called normality. But yeah, the elites do definitely got something brewing. All right, and just seeing that PDF, all right, the Blueprint for National Defense, it really rings a bell. Should really catch your attention too, because we can very well go into another lockdown. We could very well see some actual deaths by this next new uh, virus. But says Psalms 83 and 4. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up thy head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. That's right. The elites, all right, they come together. They take crafty counsel against our people, all right, planning on how they're going to establish a new world order, and they're about to really get started, all right, with this order out of chaos, right? And they know, like again, as always, these elites, they know who your so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are. All right, they want to chip the majority of you. It says, they have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And that's right. These elites, right, really, they're ultimately, they want to like come after you, Jake, right? Because they know that we have the birthright. They know that we are the Lord's people. But no less, that was just it, a lesson. All right. Things are really about to intensify. Dang. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyways, hope this lesson was edifying and shalom.